Welcome to OG's Origami. Today we're going to do a project. It's called the workbench. And it's actually is a project that is a step up from beginners. I guess I could call it advanced beginners, or maybe for the title I will call it a novice project. But for those of you who are beginners and you want to attempt it, if you're very careful and you follow the instructions, you should still be able to do it. But again, I'm going to direct this more for the novice or the advanced beginner student. I'm starting with a standard piece of origami paper, 6 inches square. I'm going to start with the white side up. I'm going to fold edge to edge. I'm going to open it up, rotate, and fold edge to edge again. Obviously, if you want, you don't have to rotate the paper. If you want to do edge to edge, then top to bottom or bottom to top, you can certainly do that. I just find it easier to always just rotate my page and do the exact same fold over again. Once that is completed and your paper is opened back up, fold all 4 corners to the center point. For this project, it's important to ensure that your folds do not overlap like that. Okay, it's all right to have a little space, but do not overlap. Once your 4 corners are folded to the center, turn your project over. Fold the top edge down to meet the bottom edge exactly. I always find it helpful to hold your paper in place once you've got it to where you want it situated, and then do your creasing. I find that helps keep it at very good proportions there. Okay. And then your top point is folded along this line to meet the bottom edge. Just like that. Okay? And crease. Turn your paper over and do the same thing. Top point is going to fold down to meet the bottom, and you're creasing it along this line. Once that is complete, pick up your paper and you will see that in the middle it opens up almost like a piece of pita bread. Okay? This next step is in origami terms is called the open squash fold. And it's called that because you're going to open, and once you open, you're going to squash in these 2 points as such, and make sure the points meet. Once they've met, then do your creasing. It's called the open squash fold. Okay? With the paper situated like this, such that the closed point is at the top and your open points are at the bottom, lift up your top flap and have it meet at the very top, and then crease. Fold it back down. Turn your paper over and do the same thing. The next step, we're going to open up this very top layer of paper with your finger and also the one opposite it. Very carefully, we're going to open it up. And as we open, you can see that the bottom point wants to come up to meet the top point, and that's what we want it to do. Okay, so you're going to open up, bring this bottom point up to meet the top, and just hold it, don't crease anything yet, just hold it into place. You're going to find that these two corners, the paper is not wanting to cooperate. Can you see that? And so what you're going to do is gently just smooth it out on both sides, like that. So you've got a nice corner. Once you've got the nice corners, then do your folds. Okay? You're going to notice that the corners are not squashed or uneven. And then turn it over and do the same thing. Lift up the flap, lift up the opposite flap, bring this point up to the top, hold it in position, flatten out these corners, and then crease. Once you have it as such, you're going to bring down this top piece of paper, right, the very top, and you're going to fold it to this line. And it's also important, can you see the center line running straight up? When you bring this down, make sure that center line right there is still centered. Okay? You don't want it to go this way, you don't want it to go that way. You want it to be centered, and just hold it there with one finger. Don't do any creasing yet, just hold it. I'm going to rotate. Now on these two edges, you're going to see little triangles wanting to form. Before you squash the triangles down, you want the paper to cooperate, and this one's not. There we go. Because you want the corners to be nice triangles. So once it's cooperating, you're going to squash it down. Now see the center line here? It's still going to fall into the center line here as such. See that? And you're going to do the same thing on this side. There's that triangle. Coax it down slowly so you got a nice point. And the center line is still on the center line. You're going to turn it over and do the same thing. Top of the paper is going to be folded down. The center line is on the center line. See that? Hold it in place. Make a nice little triangle on this side. Center line there, right there, is meeting this center line. And then crease it, rotate, and do the same thing. So you got nice pointed corners, and all your center lines are on the center. See that? The next step is easy. You're going to pick up one flap like this and fold it over and crease. It's going to look like a heart. Turn it over. Same thing. Pick up the one flap. There are two flaps there. I'm just picking up the one. There we go. And fold it over and crease. The next step, this point right here, you're going to fold it up, and can you see this, how this line goes right down here, like that? You're going to fold it up, and you want the point to stay on that line when you bend it back. And when you bend it back, you don't want to over bend it to see any pink here or any color. That would be too far. I'm going to open this up just so you can see. This joint here is the pivot point right there, okay? So we're going to fold this back only to the point where you start to see the color, and then put it back down and make sure that this center line is folded back on the center line. See that? And you're going to do that with this side as well. Nice point there, and the center line is on the center line. Turn it over and do the same thing. Point and center line. Point and the center line. Next step, I'm rotating this bottom edge right here is going to be folded up to meet the center. I'm going to turn it around and do the same thing. The bottom edge is going to be folded up to meet the center. Make nice sharp creases because we don't want it to fall apart after we're done. Turn it over, do the same thing. The bottom edge, fold it up to meet the center. I'm going to rotate. Bottom edge, fold it up to meet the center. At this time, take your top point, and it's going to be folded down this way to meet the point right there. Almost looks like an envelope, right? Make a good sharp crease. And then this whole flap, fold it over and crease. Turn it over, do the same thing. Top point, it's going to be folded to this point. Nice sharp crease. And then fold the whole flap over. And another nice sharp crease. Okay, to open up the workbench, and you always have to be gentle. You don't want to tear paper, right? You open it up this way and insert a couple of fingers and flatten this point out to make it become a flat bottom of your workbench. Just like this. So a nice flat bottom. Bend out the sleeves like here, and your workbench is complete. If you're enjoying these origami instruction videos, please take a second to click on like and click on subscribe. I'd appreciate it, and I will be posting many more. Thank you for watching. Bye for now.